In the remote village of Oluta, whispers of destiny wove through the lives of its inhabitants like the wind through the ancient trees. This village, with its dusty paths and close-knit community, was a place where everyone's business was everyone's business, where secrets rarely stayed buried, and where one woman's light threatened to cast a shadow over another's heart. Oja. Known for her generosity and kindness, she was beloved by all who knew her. Her warmth was like the morning sun that touched every corner of the village, brightening lives and bringing hope to the downtrodden. Oya wasn't just a successful trader, she was the embodiment of grace, a woman whose heart of gold earned her both respect and admiration. Her shop was always bustling with activity. People would travel from nearby villages just to purchase her goods, for they knew that anything from Oja's hands was blessed. Her secret was no secret at all. She treated everyone with love, fairness, and a deep sense of community. But where there is light, there is often shadow. Bimbo, Oya's neighbor, had watched this rise with growing resentment. Bimbo's own stall was modest, her earnings barely enough to scrap by. She was not unskilled, nor was she unkind by nature, but something dark had taken root in her heart. A bitterness that twisted her perception of Oya's success into something personal, something painful. One day, unable to bear the weight of her envy, Bimbo approached Oja with a mask of humility. "Oja," she said, her voice laced with false sweetness, "you have done so well for yourself. I see how the villagers flock to your stall. Would you be willing to teach me, to show me the ropes of this trade?" Oja, seeing only the surface of her neighbor's request, welcomed Bimbo with open arms. She taught her everything she knew: how to select the best goods, how to haggle with suppliers, and most importantly, how to treat customers with the utmost respect. Oja even went as far as introducing Bimbo to her own suppliers, urging them to treat her neighbor fairly, and told some of her loyal customers to visit Bimbo's stall as well. Bimbo's heart was hardened with jealousy. Every act of kindness from Oja only deepened her bitterness, for it reminded her of what she lacked, both in spirit and in success. In the dark corners of her mind, Bimbo nurtured her hatred. She whispered venomous lies about Oja to anyone who would listen, hoping to tarnish her reputation. But the villagers, who had come to love Oja like family, saw through Bimbo's schemes. They warned Oja about the malicious plots that Bimbo was concocting behind her back. But Oja, with her unwavering faith and serene smile, would always respond the same way. "I do not wish her harm. I serve the living God, and I believe that no evil fashioned against me shall prosper." Bimbo's frustration turned to desperation. She could not understand why every attempt to bring down Oja had failed. It was as if some unseen force shielded her from harm, some divine protection that Bimbo could neither see nor comprehend. In her darkest moments, this desperation twisted into something far more sinister, a desire to hurt Oja where it would hurt most. She decided that if she couldn't ruin Oja directly, she would do so by attacking what was most precious to her: her children. It was during the annual celebration of sharing, a festival that brought joy and unity to the village, that Bimbo saw her chance. The tradition of sharing food and clothing among villagers was meant to strengthen bonds and remind everyone of their common humanity. But to Bimbo, it was the perfect cover for her dark intentions. She prepared a meal rich and enticing, but tainted with a poison so cruel that it was said to manifest as fingers within the stomach, a slow and agonizing death. With a smile that didn't reach her eyes, Bimbo presented the food to Oja's children who, innocent and trusting, accepted it with gratitude. They adored Bimbo, oblivious to the darkness within her. As fate would have it, Oja returned home late that night, too tired to think about eating. The food, forgotten by the children in their drowsiness, sat untouched. By morning, it had swollen beyond recognition, and as the first light of dawn crept into the room, something sinister revealed itself. A finger, bloated and hideous, poked through the surface of the meal. Horror gripped Oja as she realized what had nearly befallen her beloved children. But alongside the fear was a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude that her children had heeded her teachings, and gratitude that the evil had been exposed before it could do harm. Without hesitation, Oja wrapped the tainted meal in a cloth, and made her way to the king's palace. The village buzzed with anticipation as word spread of the incident. The king, known for his wisdom and fairness, listened intently to Oja recounted the events. He examined the evidence, his face darkening with the realization of the depth of Bimbo's treachery. "Bimbo!" the king called, his voice stern and filled with authority. When she was brought before him, there was no trace of the false humility she had once shown Oja. Her face was ashen, her eyes wide with the fear of what was to come. "Why would you do this?" the king demanded, his voice cutting through the silence like a knife. What could Oja have possibly done to deserve such cruelty? Bimbo trembled, knowing there was no escape from the truth. Her voice, weak and trembling, finally betrayed her innermost thoughts. "She did nothing to me," Bimbo confessed, her words heavy with the weight of her guilt. "I just couldn't bear to see her happy, to see everything work out for her while I struggled. Every time I tried to bring her down, people told me she carried grace, that her heart was pure. I wanted to see her suffer, to see her joy destroyed." The king's gaze was cold, his judgment swift as he said angrily, "You have allowed your heart to be consumed by envy, to the point where you sought to destroy an innocent woman and her children. This is not the way of our people. Your bitterness has made you an outcast in spirit, and now you shall be one in body. You are banished from this village, never to return." As Bimbo was led away, her cries echoing through the village, the people of Oluta turned to Oja. They saw in her a woman who had not only survived an attack on her family, but had done so with her integrity intact. Her faith, her kindness had been her shield, her strength. The story of Oja and Bimbo became a lesson for the entire village, a tale told not just in the marketplaces, but in the homes and hearts of the people. It was a reminder that in a world filled with both light and shadow, the purity of one's heart can be a powerful force. Oja's story reminded everyone that wicked people don't need a reason to vilify you. Sometimes, your mere existence, your happiness, your light, is enough to stir darkness in others. But in a world where not everyone will like you, the question remains, are you living well? Are you kind to others? Do you carry love in your heart, even when surrounded by those who would wish you harm? Oya's life was a testament to the power of goodness. Even when others try to destroy you, your goodwill can be your greatest shield. For in the end, it wasn't merely Oya's faith that saved her, but the love and goodwill she had cultivated in those around her. Her life was a testament to the truth that even when darkness tries to destroy you, the light within can guide you to safety. And so, the story of Oya was told and retold, a beacon of hope and a warning to all who would let envy consume them. I hope you enjoy this story of souls. If so, please say like, subscribe, comment, and share with friends and family. And remember, your stories and experiences matters.